प्लेन और सिंपल वाइट शर्ट को बना दे स्पेशल और फैशनेबल। फॉक्स सेंट, न्यू फैशन वेयर फॉर मेन।
Good morning, you're watching the F&O Show on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. I'm Navneet Saluja D'Souza.
Good morning, Navneet. Good morning, viewers. I'm Darshan Mehta. First, the headlines. Indian equity benchmark swing between gains and losses. India VIX corrects for the straight second day. Balrampur Chini continues to see unwinding as excess supply weighs. Open interest declines by more than 1%. Infra makes a flat debut on Dalal Street, list as an issue price of 270. And Donald Trump sounds the bugle, imposes import duty on steel and aluminium products. Mexico and Canada are exempted, subject to NAFTA renegotiations. So that's the view. Navneet, what are the futures indicating now?
Well, after a gap-up opening, Darshan, there was a brief blip that we got to see for Nifty. But once again, I guess from those levels, there has been some bit of buying which has come back into the market. So let's just pull up the Nifty levels, 10,276. So just around the opening highs that we saw, 35 points higher. In fact, the volatility has corrected for the second straight day, so that's a positive sign. Let's just pull up India VIX. That's around the levels of 14.3. But I guess the bank Nifty has been underperforming today. Remember yesterday, the rally that we saw for the Indian markets or for Nifty, that was primarily because of the relief that one saw for bank Nifty or a couple of the banking stocks. So that was a short covering rally. But after that, yesterday was also bank Nifty weekly options expiry day. But today, we've seen weakness coming back into bank Nifty, and majority of it is due to the weakness that one is seeing for the PSU banking space. The Nifty PSU banking index, I guess, is one of the top sectoral losers as we speak for the day. But it is still trading with a premium of 37 points. I want to pull up the premium plate of Nifty because yesterday towards the end, Nifty futures closed almost flat to spot Nifty, and right now also they're trading with a discount, which may not be a very encouraging sign. Usually when futures trade at a discount, that tells you that there are short positions being taken. But in terms of option strike, Darshan, 10,300, 400 call strikes have seen open interest addition as we speak, and 10,300 put today has also been a little bit active. Yeah, that is right. Today I think put writers are much more active. If you're seeing 10,100 to 10,300, so that's the strike range where call writers are active, where put writers are active, sorry, and call writers are active at 10,400 levels. So that's the broad view that we are getting in. So I think the range is 10,200 to 10,400 for the Nifty. But let's take a look at the stocks in which there is a significant amount of open interest build up. So there is, in terms of open interest gainers, there is NIIT on the positive side. Allahabad Bank and Torrent Pharma continue on the negative side. Voltas is seeing positive traction, and Ashok Leyland on a fresh record high is seeing decent open interest build up on the long side. Whereas shedding of open interest in trade today, Balrampur Chini continues to bleed in trade. Kajaria is seeing short covering in trade today. Godfrey Phillips is the other one with which open interest decline is leading to short covering. Oil India and Balkrishna Industries are the two other counters which are leading to short covering in the markets today. But there was this new listing that happened today, HG Infra, and I think we need to address the listing. HG Infra made a flat debut on Dalal Street. It lists as an issue price of 270. It's trading at the same level. Harendra Singh, MD of the company, joins us on the show. We also have Samit Sarkar from our research team who tracks the sector closely. He joins us on the show. Samit, take it away.
Singh, welcome to Bloomberg Quint. My first question to you will be, HG Infra is mainly into building roads and highways with a small focus on pipeline projects. So going forward, what will be your main focus, pipeline projects or roads or highways?
Prominently roads and highways would be there, but water supply not very significantly we are looking into for the future years. And again, there's few railways and runways, that could be the projects that we will be looking into for coming years.
So HG Infra is mainly an EPC player, but going forward, do you intend to focus more on other type of projects like HAM and BOT?
Yeah, we cannot rule out because government focuses that they are coming up with 40-45% HAM projects. So we do have the opportunity that we would be going ahead looking forward for few of the HAM projects. And mainly, say, as of now, we are having only EPC projects, and we would be looking ahead for a few HAM projects, adding on to a few quality HAM projects.
So you have been consistently getting orders from the state of Rajasthan, and recently you want a big order from the state of Maharashtra. So going forward, what are the other states that you're looking to increase your focus on?
No, you can see over the years 2008 till 17, we had worked in the UP, almost 3-4 projects we have done there. Uttarakhand is one, Haryana, again, Arunachal we are working. See, as of now, it is into Rajasthan and Maharashtra. You could see the 95% of the order book unexecuted as of November in these two states. So there is no constraint as far as geography is concerned. We are open to many of the states wherever the best working conditions and best working months are available. Out of 12 months, if we can have, say, more than 10 months working conditions.
So your order book is quite robust at around 3,700 crore rupees. So what is the kind of revenue growth that one can expect from your company going forward?
As of November, I already told you that 3,700 crore of unexecuted orders book that is to be delivered within the next 2 years. So we are looking forward to add on, say, with the government having 2022, they are having about 35,000 of kilometers of new Bharatmala and Sagarmala projects. So we are looking forward that we will be having big opportunities in the 4-5 years to come.
So your margins have been increasing consistently. So what is the kind of margins one can expect from you going forward?
You have seen that over a few years, means almost 5-7 years, it has been consistently increasing year on year. So we could have, say, almost 11.5% in almost 5 years back. It is now 14.6% in the first half of this financial year. So we could see a fairly good improvement in the margins. And with that debt level going quite low, the PAT can be increased significantly.
So as you just said that your November 2017 order book is close to 3,700 crore rupees. What is the scenario post that? Have you been declared as an L1 for any other project?
Yeah, we have bid quite a few projects and we are L1 into many of the projects.
That would be all, Mr. Singh. Thank you for speaking to Bloomberg Quint. Back to you to Studio Darshan.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in from HG Infra. I think let's pull up the global markets. Japanese market, which was up almost 2%, is now almost coming into the red. So it's given up most of the gains. So we should watch out how the global equities are panning out in trade. So it's managing to hold on 156 points. But it's come off significantly from the day's high. Navneet?
All right, so those are the Asian indices there on your screen. But let's get back to the Indian markets. And before we get our guest on the show, here's a reminder for you all. If you have any queries in the futures and options market, please call us now on 022-4540-4141. You can also write to us on our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook with #AskPQ hashtag. Let's welcome then our F&O experts of the day. Aditya Agarwal of Way Too Well Securities will be joining us in a while, but right now joining us is Navneet Daga of IIFL Wealth. Hi Navneet, good morning to you and thanks a lot for joining us. What have you made of the rebound that one has seen since yesterday? Today there was a brief blip post the opening, but I think Nifty's gained momentum from those levels.
Yeah, hi, good morning. Look, we were getting a sense that we are nearing to some kind of an intermediate bottom in the markets, and if you look out the last couple of days, what we have observed is that the walls of the Indian markets have started to fall down. There's some sense of put writers resemblance again coming back into the place. So that's a comforting fact that at least the downside would be arrested in the levels of 10,100 levels in the Nifty. Understanding that we are having a very important support zone of 10,100 because it's an yearly mean for the Nifty near to that zone. So and similarly the major culprit of Bank Nifty, which is also likely to be held on a weekly support zone of 24,000 levels. It has made an attempt to break below that, but it's in the last couple of days it tried to find a support near to that zone. So to my understanding now that now there is a chances that we might move into the consolidation in this band of 10,300 to 10,150 on the lower side. That 150 points band trading might happen until we get any very further cues from the global markets. So this trading range will happen in this particular week or so.
Okay, let's shift our focus to options corner now. Navneet, Daga has a short strangle strategy on the Nifty Bank. Before we take a look at his strategy, let's see what it means. A short strangle is when one sells an out-of-the-money call and out-of-the-money put in anticipation of a decrease in volatility. The strategy becomes profitable when volatility decreases, follows by contraction in option premiums. So, Navneet, what strategy are you recommending today?
Look, it's a kind of a trade which believes that the kind of a view that we have, we believe that the markets are likely to find some kind of a bottom on the lower side, and similarly on the higher side it will face a lot of resistance at the kind of a breakdown that we have seen. So we'll be consolidated in the band, and having a similar view, we are suggesting that for the weekly expiry, that is on 15th of March, one can sell and strangle for the Bank Nifty by selling at 24,000 put on the lower side and simultaneously selling at 24,800 calls on the higher side. The combined total premium that we are receiving almost near to 200 zone, and that's a decent premium. The break even would be 25,000 on the higher side and 23,800 on the lower side. So one can do this strategy with a stop loss of 300 points on the total spread, and I'm expecting that as the market move in this consolidated band, one would expect that the premium inflow would narrow down towards the levels of 40 odd levels. One can look to book profit in that state.
Okay, so that's an option strategy coming for Bank Nifty. Aditya Agarwal also joins us now on the phone line. Hi Aditya, good morning to you. How are you approaching the trade today when it comes to the benchmark indices, Nifty or Bank Nifty?
Morning. Well, if we see Nifty and Bank Nifty, for the short term, we're expecting that Nifty and Bank Nifty, both the indices may see a minor pullback, not a major pullback from these levels, however, as overall trend for market is still negative. And on higher side, we are still seeing some call lighting at 10,400, 10,500 strike options. But yes, from current levels, we're expecting a minor pullback. We're expecting that Nifty can test 10,330 to 10,360 levels in short term. So if there's any decline in the market again, and Nifty comes in the zone of 10,250, 10,240, one can initiate long position in Nifty with a stop loss of 10,210, and on higher side our target is 10,330 to 10,350. Similarly, we see Bank Nifty also. In Bank Nifty broke its crucial support zone of 24,700 and 680 in this week. And from those levels, Bank Nifty corrected by almost 500-600 points. We can see a minor pullback in Bank Nifty also towards 24,700 levels, but overall trend for Bank Nifty is also weak. And on higher side, if we see weekly and monthly options, we are seeing aggressive call lighting at 25,000 levels. So we don't expect that Bank Nifty is going to break those levels, at least in this series. So again, in Bank Nifty also, one can initiate long positions at current levels with a stop loss of 24,240. And on higher side, we're expecting that Bank Nifty can test 24,700. But that is again, both these trades are very short-term trades. If Nifty and Bank Nifty both comes around at higher levels, we are advising our clients to initiate short positions.
Aditya, any option strategies that you can recommend?
Well, in options, stock-specific options, we are liking a Reliance Infra from these levels. If we see Reliance Infra, then this stock had a strong support zone in the zone of 400 to 405 levels, and it is trading in a band of 400 to 470 for last couple of weeks now. We are seeing some short unwinding in Reliance Infra, and we are expecting that this stock may again retest 445, 460, 450 levels. So, keeping that in mind, we are recommending to buy 420 call option at current levels in the zone of 2021. On higher side, we are expecting it to test 32 to 34 levels with a stop loss of 12. One can buy at current levels.
Okay, so that's the strategy coming in on Reliance Infra. The stock actually recovered yesterday. It was up 4% in yesterday's session as well. Looking at the stock futures today, Adani Enterprises, remember the Adani Group stocks have been under pressure for the last 2 to 3 sessions, and today as well, most of these stocks have seen some bit of beating. Adani Enterprises is one of the top F&O losers as we speak, down 2.5%. Open interest has also seen a build-up of nearly 5%. Navneet, I'll come to you on Adani Enterprises, where Adani Ports yesterday saw some bit of fresh long positions, but Adani Enterprises continues to be weak. Any trade that you see here?
Look, we have been suggesting shorts ideas on Adani Enterprises, but now we have to understand that this stock is likely to form a lot of support zone at a 160 odd zone. That's where its yearly means come to be in place, and weekly charts also suggesting that 160 is to be a very important support zone. So I'll trade, it's a kind of a conditional trade. If it breaks below 160 odd levels, I initiate a short in the trade and with a stop loss of 165. But until at this point of time, I'll wait for any minor pullback on this stock to be on the to remain on the short side. And so basically, overall trend remains to be on the weak. Look for any pullback to go short on the levels somewhere in the levels of 172 to 175 is a good entry point.
Yeah, Aditya, any view on Piramal Enterprises after continuously falling for so many days? A little bit of short covering seen on the counter. The counter is up over 2%. Can the short covering get converted into fresh longs for Piramal Enterprises?
Well, if we see Piramal Enterprises, this stock has been trading in a zone of 2550 and 3050 for last couple of months. And this week, last week we saw some correction. This counter stock broke this support level. After that, we have seen already a decent correction. So from these levels, we can see a pullback in this trade. But this is again only a pullback trade, as overall trend for this stock for short to medium term is weak. So we are not expecting any aggressive long positions to get built up in Piramal. But yes, from these levels, we can see a minor pullback towards 2480 to 2520 levels. So if someone is playing for 3 to 4%, they can go long with a stop loss of 2340. And on higher side, 2480 to 2520 will be the target.
Okay, that's the view on Piramal Enterprises. The stock has seen a bit of bounce back in today's session. But the other one, M&M Financial, let's just pull up that counter. That trades with gains of nearly 3%. There was some weakness that was seen in the recent past, but this too has come off that 3.5% higher as we speak. Aditya, anything on the charts for M&M Financial, if there's any trade that can be taken?
Yes, means if we see M&M Financial, this stock is looking comparatively better, and means if we see on lower side, then 419, 420 is a very strong support zone, and around those levels, 200 days moving average also comes. So we can see some pullback in this counter, and we are expecting that this stock can test 454 to 460 level in short term. So at current levels, also risk reward ratio is clearly in favor of buyers. One can buy at current levels. Stop loss will be a little bit deep. One should keep a stop loss of 420, but on higher side also, we're expecting target of 460 to 462 in short term.
Navneet, two stocks which I want your view on, and they have been falling continuously. BEML and Karnataka Bank. Will there be any support? Are there any support levels for these stocks at this point of time?
Well, incidentally, BEML is my short call for the day. I expect that this stock might not find a support in the near term. And if I look at the deep monthly charts and as well as the weekly charts, it's suggesting that the stock might see a very major correction from here on as well. So to my understanding, one should look for any pullback to go short on, as 1120 odd levels is a good entry point for the stock to go short on. I'm expecting a very near-term target of 1060 on the BEML on the short, as well as keeping a strict stop loss on the higher side of 1150. The short accumulation along with the chart breakdown clearly suggests that this is a weak candidate.
Pull up the intraday chart of Nifty Metals Index. It opened with gains of about 1%, but it's given up all its gains as we speak. Most of these stocks like Hindustan Zinc, JSPL, Steel Authority, Tata Steel, all of them have turned red, and the chart is depicting a better picture. It's now slipped into red. In fact, Hindustan Zinc is trading with cuts of nearly 1.5% to 2%. Aditya, anything in the metal space where one can initiate a trade?
On the whole metal space, we are short right now. We are expecting that metal sector will continue to see selling pressure. We see most of the metal counters, they have already broken their support levels. So minor pullback was in yesterday's trade, but again from higher levels today we are seeing some selling pressure. If we see Vedanta, then this stock has gave a breakout below 300 levels, and now if we see today's session, stock has already added 5.5% shares in open interest. So structure for this stock is weak. So one can short Vedanta at current levels with a target of 280 and 275, and on higher side stop loss will be 305.
Okay, that's the view coming in on the metal stocks, but let's turn to our next segment where we try and address our viewer queries. On YouTube, Saurabh Shetty has written to us. Saurabh has bought Reliance 880 put strike with a premium of 3.25, and Saurabh wants to know if he should hold on to this position or not. If you could just pull up the 880 put strike of Reliance Industries and get to see whether at what levels currently it's trading. Navneet, I'll come to you. 3.25 is the premium that he's paid to buy the 880 put strike, and currently the premium has surged to almost 6 rupees. Do you think he should book his profits?
Look, to my understanding, Reliance is one of the most resilient heavyweight index stocks. It has been in the trading band of 880 to 950 on the higher side. The gentleman has taken exactly at a support level the strike price. So to my understanding, until that overall trend doesn't suggest that Reliance is getting weaker beyond near to that levels. But however, I feel that it will get an exit price in near to that level of if it started to break below 880 levels. But in this series, it doesn't look like that we might get this strike price being in the money. So to my understanding, it's better to take off and better to exit at this market price, and overall trend suggests that that can again resume its upward journey and move towards the levels of 940 odd levels on the higher side. So it does not make sense to me to carry on this position.
Okay, we're taking some queries from social media. The query comes in from Amol Wagh. He writes to us. He's written to us on YouTube. He has one lot of HCL Tech which he bought at 959. He wants to know if he should hold it or sell it currently. So let's pull up the chart of HCL Tech. As far as the series is concerned, it's slightly lower than what he bought, 4 rupees. Aditya, you go. Can you help Amol what he should do with HCL Tech?
Well, I think he should continue with his long position in HCL Tech. In fact, if we see whole IT pack, we are seeing long position getting build up. HCL Tech, particularly, we see this counter. This is trading in a band of 920 and 965, 970. But right now, if we see HCL Tech stock is looking positive. He can continue with this position with a stop loss of 940. On higher side, 970 is the first target. If stock breaks 970, then 985 will be the next target in HCL Tech. But yes, overall view is positive, and he can continue with his long positions.
Okay, continue with your long positions for HCL Technologies is the advice coming in from Aditya. Our next query comes from Saloni, who has written to us on YouTube. Saloni wants to know for ITC if there is any trade that can be taken, or what's the view on the stock at least for this month. Navneet, I'll come to you. Any view on ITC, and also share with us if there's any trade that can be taken here.
Look, ITC is not always the kind of stock whereby that's a trader's favorite. It's normally see a sideways movement with an index with an implied also normally in the range of 20 to 25. So it does not see any major breakdown trade. But however, the stock has started to find some support in the range of 255 odd. If we get near to that price, the stock is looking likely to attracted near to that zone. It might give a bounce back of 10 rupees, but not beyond that. It's looking likely that it will consolidate before giving any major breakdown trade. So to my understanding, it's a kind of a wait and watch approach, and if we get near to 255 odd levels, one should look to accumulate with a stop loss of 250.
Okay, that's the view coming in on ITC. On YouTube, we've also got a query from Dheeraj Pawar, who writes to us. He wants a view on Ashok Leyland. He's bought 60 shares at 95 rupees. Well, the stock is in the F&O space, so I'll take this query. Aditya, I'll come to you. That's a good entry level, Dheeraj. At 95, he's bought, and currently Ashok Leyland trades around the mark of 145. Do you think he should book profits here, or he should just hold on and trail with stop losses?
Well, I think he should continue with this long position in Ashok Leyland. Means if we see this counter, this is one stock in auto space in which we are seeing continuous buying and continuous long positions is getting built up in this counter also. Means if in today's session, stock has added 7.5% shares in open interest. So overall structure is positive. The stop loss will be a little bit deep with a stop loss of 134 he can hold. We are expecting that this stock can test 158 to 164 levels in next couple of trading sessions. So overall view is quite positive in Ashok Leyland, and any decline also in Ashok Leyland can be used to initiate long positions.
Okay, use the decline to initiate a long position on Ashok Leyland is the advice coming in from Aditya. Our next query comes in from Trilok Verma, who writes to us on Facebook. He's holding one lot of PFC, put strike 90, which he's bought around the level of 2.4. He's asking, should he hold or sell? If you could just pull up and check what's the current premium that is being quoted for this. I think it's around 1.7 or something. Yes, and he's purchased at 2.4. Navneet, what should he do? The trend has been weak for both PFC and REC. I think we'll go across to Aditya for this query. Aditya, what would you advise him to do? He's bought the 90 put strike of PFC, a stock which has been weak in the recent past, but the current premium is below his buy price.
If we see PFC, then in last 2 or 3 months, the stock has corrected by almost 25 to 30%, and right now stock is trading near its crucial support, which comes in the zone of 90-89 levels. Yesterday, stock tested those levels, and today we are seeing some short covering trade in this counter. So in this short covering, we are expecting this stock to test 98 to 99 levels. So for the short term, I would expect him to cut his position in put option of 90 at current levels, as 90 is a very crucial support levels, and below that only we are expecting some correction. So at current levels, he can cut his put option, and on the higher side, we are expecting PFC to test 98-99 levels in short term.
Okay, the next query comes in from Jatin Agarwal. He's writing to us, is it the right time to enter Punjab National Bank? Valuations look cheaper. Navneet, good time to accumulate PNB or hold on?
Look, I'm not a fundamental expert on the valuation, but on the technical side, it's look likely that the stock might start to find a support zone, which is it held up for this month of near to 90 odd zone. But to my understanding, if I had to look at the kind of a medium to longer term charts, it's looking likely that the stock might face a lot of resistance on the higher side, and there's a chances that it might drift below to as low as somewhere near to 70 odd levels. So if you're looking from a tactical trading perspective, yes, near to the 90 odd zone, you can buy and look to exit at the 105 odd levels. But if you've got a longer time frame on the positional side, I would still refrain myself to buy into the stock. It's looking like that it might drift towards that support zone of 70 odd zone in the longer time frame.
Okay, so avoid taking any position in PNB is the advice coming in from Navneet on basis of the technicals of this counter. But let's shift focus and get you some trading strategies going for today's session. Navneet, I'll come back to you. What are the individual stock futures ideas that you want to share?
Look, one stock we have already discussed, like the short trade on BEML. The stock is looking like they are terribly weak. It is broken down below 1200 levels convincingly, and we have seen aggregate open interest jumping almost 15% in the last couple of days. So it's looking likely that we might continue to see the downtrend in the stock. I'm expecting near-term target of 1060 on BEML with a stop loss of 1150 on the high side. One can look to enter in this current market price. Apart from that, one long stock that I wanted to share in this market is basically Motherson Sumi, where we have seen the stock has been quite resilient and finding support in the range of 305 to 310. So one can look into entry price at 315 at current market price, and looking for a higher side target of 335 with a stop loss of 305 on Motherson Sumi.
And Aditya, what strategies are you recommending?
Well, we have a one short and one long trade. Short trade in ACC. If we see cement sector, we are seeing some selling pressure in cement sector, and we are seeing continuous short position getting built up. But if we see ACC, then stock has already given a breakdown below its support level of 1570, and for last two trading sessions, it is trading below that. So we are expecting that this ACC can test 1505 levels on lower side. So at current levels, one can go short in ACC with a stop loss of 1556 and target of 1505. Buy call will be in Bajaj Auto. If we see two-wheeler sector, Bajaj Auto, Hero Honda, TVS Motors, and all these three counter we are seeing buying at lower levels. Bajaj Auto, especially 2900, is a very strong support, and from those levels only we are seeing a pullback. So we are expecting some short covering move in Bajaj Auto, and in this move we are expecting this stock to test 3070 levels. So at current levels also one can buy Bajaj Auto with a stop loss of 2890 and target of 3070.
All right, gentlemen, appreciate both of you joining us today and sharing your views in the derivatives market, and also helping our viewers with their queries. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the F&O Show. Thanks a lot for watching, but stay tuned to Bloomberg Quiz.